The NBA world is buzzing right now, and for a very good reason. Jonathan Kuminga has officially arrived. The Golden State Warriors' young forward, once seen as just a raw talent with potential, is now playing like an absolute monster, and everyone around the league is taking notice. What we're witnessing from Kuminga isn't just improvement, it's a transformation. It's the type of leap that changes everything for the Warriors, their season, and maybe even the future of their dynasty. And honestly, if you've been sleeping on the Golden State Warriors, it's time to wake up because this team looks dangerous again. Over the past few weeks, Jonathan Kuminga has been nothing short of unstoppable. He's attacking the rim with confidence, finishing through contact, and showing that deadly first step that defenders just can't seem to handle. Every single night, he's giving fans highlight plays, whether it's a ferocious dunk in transition, a chase down block, or an explosive baseline drive that ends with someone on a poster. But what's different this time is the consistency. This isn't just 1 or 2 games of fire. Kuminga has been locked in, night after night, dominating on both ends of the floor, and suddenly, the Warriors' offense looks alive again. You can see it in the energy of the team. You can see it in how Steph Curry reacts every time Kuminga throws down another monster dunk. The bench goes wild, the fans go crazy, and you can feel that old Warriors magic again, the kind that made them a dynasty. But what's even more fascinating is how much Kuminga has matured mentally. Remember when people questioned his basketball IQ or his ability to stay patient within the Warriors system? Those days are gone. He's reading the floor better, moving without the ball, and making smart defensive rotations. It's like something just clicked. Reports from the Warriors' locker room have said that Kuminga came into this season with a different mindset. He's been putting in extra work with the coaching staff, studying film, and focusing on improving the little things that separate good players from great ones. And it's paying off big time. Steve Kerr has been trusting him with more minutes, and that confidence has unlocked a completely new version of Kuminga, one that plays with freedom and intensity. The chemistry between Kuminga and Curry has also been a major storyline. Steph has always been that leader who brings out the best in young players, but this connection feels special. Kuminga's athleticism complements Curry's shooting perfectly. When defenses trap Steph high, Kuminga slips to the rim, and suddenly, the Warriors have a lethal pick-and-roll combination. That dynamic gives Golden State something they've missed since Kevin Durant left, a real secondary scoring threat who can attack the basket relentlessly. And let's not forget about defense. Kuminga has become one of the most versatile defenders in the league. His ability to switch onto guards, wings, and even some bigs gives the Warriors huge flexibility. He's locking down assignments, contesting shots, and grabbing key rebounds. In many ways, he's becoming the defensive engine that this Warriors team needs alongside Draymond Green. The two together form a defensive wall that's tough to break through. Fans have noticed, analysts have noticed, and even rival players have noticed. Opponents are starting to talk about how tough it is to guard Kuminga when he's aggressive. You can't sag off him because he's improving his jump shot. You can't overplay him because he'll blow by you in a second. He's becoming that two-way nightmare that every coach dreams of having. It's wild to think how far he's come since his rookie year. Back then, he was just trying to find minutes in a rotation filled with veterans. There were games when he barely played, moments when his confidence looked shaky, and plenty of critics who said he might never fit the Warriors' system. But he didn't give up. He stayed focused, learned from every mistake, and used every opportunity to prove himself. And now, he's showing that patience pays off. The timing couldn't be better either. The Warriors desperately needed a spark this season. After a rough start, with questions about aging stars and inconsistent bench play, people were starting to wonder if the dynasty was finally over. But Kuminga's rise has completely changed that narrative. Suddenly, Golden State has a new weapon, a young star who brings fresh energy and athleticism that balances out their veteran experience. When you combine Kuminga's breakout with the leadership of Curry, the playmaking of Draymond, and the shooting of Klay Thompson, this team looks balanced again. And when the Warriors are balanced, they're dangerous. They've been through every scenario: championship runs, injuries, rebuilding phases, and yet, here they are again, finding new life because one of their young players decided to take the leap. Even the coaching staff has been vocal about how impressed they are. Steve Kerr said recently that Kuminga'S maturity has been the biggest difference in his game. Assistant coaches have talked about how much time he's spending in the gym, how he's asking more questions, watching film with Curry, and learning how to dominate within the Warriors system instead of forcing things. That's not something you see often from 21-year-old players. That's something you see from future stars. And let's talk about the fan reaction for a second. Every Warriors home game now has that electric energy again. Chase Center erupts every time Kuminga touches the ball, because fans know something special could happen at any moment. You can feel that buzz around the city, the kind of energy that says the Warriors are back. It's like the birth of a new era within the dynasty, and fans are embracing it completely. Around the league, other teams are taking notes too. Scouts and GMs are suddenly realizing that Golden State's young core is not to be underestimated. Between Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, and Moses Moody, the Warriors have quietly developed some serious depth. But Kuminga stands out as the player who might redefine their future. If he continues on this path, he could be the bridge between the old dynasty and whatever comes next for Golden State. Now, what's even more exciting is how this impacts the Warriors' long-term outlook. For years, critics have said that the Warriors' window was closing. But if Kuminga keeps playing like this, that window just reopened wide. Because now, Steph Curry doesn't have to carry the entire offensive load every night. Kuminga can take over stretches of games, draw attention from defenders, and open up shots for everyone else. That's exactly how dynasties stay alive, they evolve. Even veteran teammates have been praising him. Draymond Green said in a recent interview that Kuminga's growth has been unreal, and that he's becoming one of the toughest players to guard in practice. Klay Thompson mentioned that he's proud of how Kuminga has handled adversity and stayed patient. When your team's leaders are praising you like that, it's a sign you're doing something right. You can also tell how confident Kuminga himself feels. In interviews, he's been calm but focused, saying that he's not trying to prove anyone wrong, he's just trying to be the best version of himself. That's a mature mindset, and it's exactly why his game has taken off. Confidence without arrogance. Discipline without fear. He's becoming that type of player who changes games by sheer presence. And it's not just his scoring either. His rebounding and hustle plays have been crucial. He's crashing the boards, diving for loose balls, and bringing that hunger that sometimes gets lost in veteran teams. That kind of energy is contagious. When younger players set that tone, everyone feeds off it. Suddenly, Golden State looks faster, more aggressive, and more locked in defensively. NBA analysts are already starting to whisper about Kuminga in the most improved player conversation. Some are even comparing his leap to what we saw from players like Kawhi Leonard early in their careers, guys who started as raw athletes and developed into complete, dominant forces. It's not hard to see the resemblance. If he keeps this up, the Warriors' playoff picture could look very different. Because in the postseason, teams rely on players who can create their own shot and guard multiple positions, and that's exactly what Kuminga brings. He gives the Warriors that physical edge they've sometimes lacked in tough series. Imagine a lineup where Curry spaces the floor, Klay and Wiggins play off ball, Draymond runs the defense, and Kuminga attacks the paint like a freight train. That's a nightmare for any opponent. But beyond stats and highlights, the story here is about growth. Jonathan Kuminga's rise is a story of patience, perseverance, and belief. It's about a young player who could have let frustration derail him but instead turned it into motivation. It's about a team that didn't give up on developing him, even when fans and critics questioned it. And now, everyone's seeing why. Golden State's culture of development is paying off once again. Just like they did with Jordan Poole before his breakout, just like they've done with countless others, the Warriors took their time with Kuminga and now they're reaping the rewards. Right now, no one wants to face the Warriors. They're finding rhythm, they're healthy, and most importantly, they're hungry. The combination of championship experience and youthful fire is what makes this version of Golden State so terrifying. And as for Kuminga, This is just the beginning. The confidence he's playing with, the swagger, the intensity, it all points to something bigger coming. You can see it in his eyes when he walks onto the court. You can see it in how his teammates trust him with big moments. He's not just a role player anymore. He's becoming a cornerstone. So yes, the NBA world is right to be talking. Jonathan Kuminga'S breakout isn't just exciting, it's a warning. A warning that the Warriors aren't done yet. A warning that the dynasty isn't over. It's evolving. And if Kuminga continues to rise like this, the league might be looking at the next big star out of Golden State. The Warriors are back. They're scary again. And the spark behind